Hello, Sagittarius. This is Ron from Terror of the Twin Sun. We'll be doing 3 iterations of a situationship reading for you. 3 portals in which I will open up and see a bit about your love cycles, something about how she cycles in and out of your life, or they, or he, or whatever you're into. So I'll be working with today the Espanol deck, the Spanish deck from Victoria, Spain, Fournier. It's a modern deck, it has very good clarity, and I have some trouble with my throat, so please bear with me. Please relax. There's someone around that will, the portal's open by the way, that will offer you some sort of hidden romance. This romance comes from someone you have a great past with, a very intense, deep past in which nostalgia will kick in like a crazy horse and in November create for you a great deal of remembrance of things past. This romance goes quite deep and it has to do with a great deal of toxicity, it seems. We have here the Six of Cups, which indicates, once again, past life resonance, as well as the iterations of, in this current life, of some sort of poetic love. Okay. We also have here the Devil. Okay. This. Let me get into the flow. So you have a connection with someone, and they are a very deep connection, profound connection. However, this entanglement is very, very intense, and it is puts you both in shackles. Okay, there's something about the repression of emotions that is creating a great deal of toxicity. 308 with you and someone else, as well as um, the need for you to find esoterically wisdom in the external universe, the external sort of outside of you, the outside of the ego, as well as the outside of the observer. There's something about you going into state of suspension in which your feelings will be examined in a certain way, and you may be dealing with people who are crossing over boundaries. Or perhaps you have set clear boundaries with someone and they don't have the wherewithal to know what's best for both of you together or apart. There is some sort of fear that you are transcending. This fear has to do with an ending of a cycle of pain that you are finally healing over and you are finally getting over in a certain way. I don't know what happened here with you and this person, but it was quite profound and very much toxic in a certain way, and you had to get over heartbreak. It was very intense. This whole situation, this whole ordeal, this whole situationship was. It pushed you into not only the hanged man mode, but also into the hermit mode, el ermitaño, which is all about finding the truth within and finding the fire within to see through the darkness of an element of your life. Perhaps there's fits of depression or a need for you to retreat from the everyday mundane in order to find some sort of higher resonance with a commitment. A commitment here with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, indicating to me at least a lack of commitment here with someone who was trying to heal with you, perhaps you with them, but you're not standing in your power. This is the card of Sagittarius. This is all about Jupiter as well as expansion, higher philosophies, and creating out of the language of love a higher philosophy, some sort of higher purpose. Okay, you're on a mission here to find in singularity, in your own sort of capability to stand on your own 2 feet, essentially some sort of new purpose, some sort of purpose, perspective, or perhaps a change of footing when you're climbing the ladder of ascension. Okay, the Knight of Swords comes, Caballo de Espadas, which is all about communication. You may be receiving communication from your counterpart, perhaps a Gemini, in your 7th house, and this has to do with love. A great deal of it. 2 of Cups, soulmate energy, very intense, and perhaps a new beginning with them. We have here the energy of Aries, as well as the loyalty of the dog who is preventing the fool to do anything crazy, loco, el loco. You could be eating chicken sometime in November. There's also a possibility for you to try to end something that once was stable yet lost its stability. Here with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, talks about an ending, or perhaps the lack of an ending, some sort of confusion when it comes to what and all is actually making you feel completely stable or secure in your own self and in your commitments with others. There is also a possibility of the nature of the fighting you did with this person to have been very artificial. There's a lot of this coming up this month. Artificial fights left and right. I think with the eclipse season there was a great deal of purgation and negation of contracts with anyone, with even a twin flame if you're that lucky, if you believe in that sort of thing. And a lot of it was artificial. People were not in control of their own hearts. The vision of love, the compassion was all gone for a while. Yeah, and here there's unfinished business with the 7 of Pentacles, as well as someone who was acting out of ego or pride, as well as a lack of justice here. And there might be a lot of crazy sex, revenge sex going on in the cards. And the need to revision your own sense of emotional fulfillment here. There's a lot. Through rest. Through rest, especially with your 12th house approaching, my dear Sagittarius, the solar return and your birthday, there is a closing of a cycle. So I would suggest to get enough rest and relaxation as possible in order to find some sense of equilibrium. Portal is closed. Sagittarius number 2. Number 2. We'll go ahead and clear the energy of the cards and get started for Sagittarius number 2. Number 2. And I need to get closer. Somehow this is not fitting. Okay. Sagittarius number 2. Doing a second iteration for your love life situationship reading 2019 November. My name is Ron, Terror of the Twin Sun. Pleasure to meet you. Sagittarius number 2. Very soon the portal will be opening and we'll go ahead and take a gander at the cycles of love. Perhaps 1 or 2 of them. So, shit. Okay, this wanted to come out. We have here the Wounded Warrior card, so they call it. It's such a bullshit name. I think it's more like the person who has a lot of emotional scarring on the heart space, and there is a need there's a warrior like quality behind this person. Usually there's like the determination and the ferocity and the fanaticism. This is like the fanaticism card. And usually when this is up, it's like walls are up. There's myopic vision. It's like narrow-mindedness and complete focus in order to preserve some sort of structure of the heart. Okay. So what is happening here for you in this second iteration is, it's like a lack of, it's like, it's like there's something about your higher self that is dying, that is dying to conquer something from the past, some sort of misgiving, some sort of lack of stability when it comes to your inner demons and like your shadow aspects. There's something that needs to be tamed here, because I see a great deal for you, Sagittarius number 2, of pain that needs to be healed. You're not in your best element, but it's good that you're still fighting. Okay, you have this wounded warrior card, and it's like there's a great deal of like a need for you to find your strength, as well as a need for you to find your happiness and your sense of well-being. There could be trouble with father figures in your life, or perhaps a need to change, and a need to move on, and a need to cut off like toxic cycles in your life. But it's very difficult for you, and you may be dealing with someone like a mother figure, or someone who is there and not really there in terms of their heart space. And it's very difficult for you because it feels like there's no way for you to set your boundaries straight with this person. And I see a lot of like parental issues cropping up here. Okay. When it comes to love, there is a connection there, or perhaps you are deeply entwined with someone from the past, someone who reminds you of your mother or your father, or something like this, and they each time they hurt you, it triggers the cycle from childhood. And it's very important that you know this, that there is a path work that has to be done here in the secret arcanum, in the major secret. It has to do with a cycle that is closing. Okay, so it's going to be over soon, and you're going to be moving on to something with more footing, with more like steadfast courage, as well as higher philosophies, as well as something will change in you, in which there will be a great sense of joy. Okay, I see this with the world. And there's also a possibility that you're not listening to your intuition here, with the Queen of Swords in reverse, about how your passions are there, and they're there for you to help you. It's like you're very passionate, but you're lacking in intuition, and because of this, the passion will carry you on. Thankfully, I mean, like, your logic may not be sound, especially with Mercury retrograde, but there is a lot of love, as well as love from friends, and like joy and conviviality around you, which is really good. It's really good, as well as there's you coming into power and being able to manifest things. So be careful of what you think of, because they will come true, sort of thing. You can manifest this shit, and what you're manifesting is like a direction here with the Two of Rods, a direction and a choice, as well as balance. Okay, with different various commitments. There's also something here about unfinished business, something from the past in which you committed a great deal of time and energy into, about romance. Okay, a romance that has left you, or perhaps there was a feeling of rejection, but no longer. And there's also a secret contract that's very difficult for you to discern when it comes to this person. It has to do with your options, and being confused with all of these, and being confused with things from the past, and perhaps being confused in general when it comes to what makes you feel emotionally fulfilled. Be very careful, because there's also something trapping you something holding you back in terms of psychology. There's something inside of you where there is a prison. There's a prison, and you're trying to break free from it. When it comes to an ending that's supposed to occur, but it's not. Very, very deep, very, very, very deep. Equality is coming, as well as the ability for you to stand in your own singlehood and to be completely empowered in that way. Okay, you also may have an option to choose between lovers, and it is leading to a type of situation in which I don't think this person will commit to you, whoever they are here. With the Knight of Pentacles, they're a slow mover, but then they're stopped right now, and it's very difficult for you to accept this because you once saw in them everything. You saw in them everything, and you had to like analyze your emotions and your intuition. Look, I mean, your intuition is always working. It's just a matter of really sort of listening to it and to tap into that. And I think you've learned that, and you've found that there are a number of promises broken, or perhaps lies about some sort of commitment here with a soulmate. But don't worry, because romance is coming. It's just that you won't be able to see it because you're so stuck in some sort of nostalgia from the past. Very deep reading. I'm going to move on to Sagittarius number 3. Okay. Hello. Sagittarius number 3. Hopefully this will be a fantastic joy. After that last portal, this is the last portal I'll do for tonight, and this is your third portal. This has to do with love iterations of love, in which you can find resonance to find instrumental sort of procedures to move forward with the influences of the cards throughout the evening and into November. So I'm definitely going to do some Palo Santo smudging in order to clear the energy of the cards as well as my own out of any negativity or any sort of unwanted interference. Right. So clearing the energy of the cards, and we'll go ahead and get straight into it. Alright, Sagittarius number 3, cards are almost set. Alright, that's good. Okay. Sagittarius number 3, there is heartbreak on the cards. And this heartbreak comes... It comes with you finally getting over some sort of fight. Or perhaps someone was manipulating you in some way, shape, or form, and you finally realizing this. You have been dealing with someone who was not standing in their truth and perhaps have been tyrannical when it comes to communications with you. They were exacting some sort of lie about a deep contract that was between you two. You and this person had shared a contract that was very well written, and it was mandated by the stars. Okay. There's a period of solitude in which you are moving forward and trying to find a new pentacle in which to begin something new. You're ready to stop juggling between various projects in order to find some sort of retribution through unfinished business. Okay. Perhaps you were leaving something in the past in order to move on and in order to exact your own sense of karma. Okay, the timing may be off, however, romance is coming, and within this love iteration, there will be a type of freedom. Freedom. This is freedom. Freedom will come if you are able to deny anyone who will give you false offers of commitment, as well as accept anyone who will approach you romantically. If they do so, it will be in the form of an apology, as well as there is a number of tribulations, as well as you laughing at these, being able to celebrate in the sort of comedy of it all. You will be able to rise up into glory and to come into a higher consciousness when it comes to essentially something that was deeply embedded in your heart, um, type of elation here, or possibly something where it involves truth, the breaking of the crown of creation here, and the ability to find higher philosophy when it comes to true wisdom. And you're done sort of walking through the desert of your soul and your mind in order to find the light you have, and you're ready to share that with the world, some sort of higher philosophy about how commitments sometimes don't work out, and how sometimes the facilitation of higher orders aren't necessary to actually fulfill contracts. Something about this where there is a hidden love, or perhaps love is leaving in a certain way because of a cycle that has ended, yet there is a possibility for a recycling of a type of beginning. If this occurs, there will be a lack of passion, or perhaps there will be sort of a lack of manifestation energy. It's like it's out of your hands, and there is an ability to reinvest in something that is already taken up a great deal of time for you, and this will lead to a type of strengthening, or perhaps it will show you that this person, whoever comes back into your life, with the Ace of Rods in reverse is also the King of Rods in reverse. There's something about the rod that they hold that is a false passion or a false light, and you know this because you've been in hermetitude to actually find real light, and you're coming into strength. You are able to go through great transformation in the Scorpio season to get rid of what doesn't serve you in order to move forward, and move forward into a new secret contract that has to do with teamwork, or perhaps yourself, about a higher purpose. And there will be possibility for some sort of a choice that has to do with you finding peace in getting over all these various people who come back into your life who might be telling you lies. Okay, not to fearmonger or anything, but it seems like you're coming into victory, which is a really good thing. This victory has to do with you conserving your energy and your time and your resources to focus back on yourself again, and in order to find some sort of wisdom in your emotions, okay, and the ability to move on from like any inequalities, or get over and transcend any sort of heartache. Okay, you are on the path to healing, which is really good. You're coming into power and doing your own thing, and your ability to convert and to be compassionate with others and compassionate with the world around you is very fantastic. In a way, you're playing the matchmaker, or perhaps you have known enough in the language of love to actually execute justice fairly with other and opposing forces and make equilibrium in all of those. It's like you're the great peacemaker, okay, which is fantastic. There's also a coming into power of someone, or perhaps someone will come to you with Taurus or Libra in their chart and will be able to give you a great deal of growth and expansion overall. There is also an option for a slow commitment of sorts, and a movement towards uh, healing that is missed. And this slow movement will allow you to take your time in order to find the right timing within the stars and the divination of astrology to find some sort of higher power. Okay? Yeah, and there's a number of other things, but I am wiped for now. My dear Sagittarius friend, um, thank you. And once again, this is Ron from Terror of the Twin Sun. I would like to invite you to share, subscribe, and like. Those are really appreciated because I'm trying to generate more of a following, but it's no big deal. I really do appreciate it. So once again, Ron from Terror of the Twin Sun. Peace and namaste.